It's the first week of April, and I've got as you can see, it's a beautifully sunny day. A little bit chilly, but sunny. And what I'm going to do, I sowed some seeds for peas back in March, and they're currently still in the greenhouse. And but they're popping their heads through, but they'll stay there for at least a couple more weeks. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the structures up where I'm going to plant the peas. So I'm going to show you how we do that. I'm going to be planting these through the membrane, and if you remember what I said when I sowed the seeds, is that peas don't like their roots messed. So what I'm going to do is take the pot off and plant the whole thing in these areas. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to put up a structure so that when the peas grow, they'll grow up through the structure. Now, why this is a bit of a faff to plant and to start, but one of the reasons I do it like this is that once they're in, one, they grow on quickly because the membrane holds heat, holds moisture, so there's no issues about watering, and also it keeps the weeds down, so I don't have to weed at all. So okay, it's a bit hard to do the planting, but once you've done it, the next job you've got is to harvest them later in the year, probably July. The equipment I use, and I use it every year, I use chicken wire. I used to keep chickens, and I've got plenty of this wire, and it's quite useful because peas grow through it really well. So I use chicken wire. I've used some canes here to hold the chicken wire rigid, and then I use these are broom handles, which I use every year just to hold it each edge, and I'll do one now, and I'll show you what it looks like. What I've done is I put 3 posts into the edges, so the holes. I put this chicken wire and I've threaded through a cane and tied it in the centre, and now all I'm going to do is tie it to those posts. There we have it. So what will happen then, in a few weeks' time, I'll plant the peas in there, and they'll have a frame to climb up on. And because these are spaced well apart, it's nice and easy to harvest. I can walk up and down between them without them falling over, and they're real sturdy. And that's how I do the peas. Okay, it's the second week of April, and it's a beautifully sunny day today. And the next step is now to plant out my peas. I put these into pots back in March, and they've been in a warm greenhouse. And as you can see, they've done really well. I'm going to be putting those in to the frames today. I showed earlier in the month, I put together these frames and put them out, and now I need to just plant them in the holes. Now, as I mentioned before, peas don't like their roots disturbed, so what I'll be doing is taking them out of the pot and planting the whole thing in there. I've just watered them to make sure they're moist so it doesn't fall apart. You can see they're ready to go out. Those roots are kicking through the bottom now, so we'll get these sorted. In they go as a whole pot. Right, there's the first row done. And that's taken about 10 minutes. It doesn't take long, providing the holes you've got are bigger than the pot so that you don't have to disturb the roots when you take them out. So I'll get on and now do the rest. Okay, that's them all done. I will give them a splash of water just to start them off, but because they're under the membrane, they won't need watering again. And because they've got the chicken wire, they'll grow up through that. So the next time I have to do anything on these will be to harvest the peas in July. So even though it's a little bit of effort to get them in, hopefully there's nothing to do now until I harvest them.